All right, guys, we're gonna be getting going here pretty soon. Somebody could just pop a little note in the Q&A down at the bottom of your screen. You'll see Q&A just to make sure you can hear me here. This is a first go round, so. Great, Bill Ogenfritz, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna give it a couple minutes here just to see if we have any stragglers, but basically I've kept this very close circle. There are actually more people showing up than I anticipated, which is great. I think that bodes well for where we're going in the future with this. But this is gonna stay closed circle for the first few go rounds here. We're gonna do it every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. And basically, right now, this is the longest intro that you're ever going to hear me do for one of these things. We want to get right to it, focus on something that is valuable, something that that I personally have been fielding as a question multiple times. So today's topic is going to be pretty straightforward. We're basically just covering posting and basically what's the difference between a post and a like and a comment and a share, and in particular, how does that affect the LinkedIn algorithm, and what tools do I like to use for posting, for scheduling posting, for posting content in real time. We're gonna walk you right through that. So every week it's gonna be 15 minutes, show you something of value, 15 minutes Q&A. We'll have the videos up on our site the following day, and if there aren't any questions, you can always follow up after this. This initial webinar, you're going to have, I think, a 3-question survey. It might even be 2 questions, actually. If you wouldn't mind filling that out, one of the questions is just a star rating, and the other question is, how can we make this more valuable for you? We really just want to make sure that we're delivering value on a weekly basis. If we're not, we'll kill this thing. But this has been something that has been requested from colleagues, from clients, so we're going to give it a shot. So I'm going to hop in right now. Looks like we have a good number here, at least enough for some Q&A at the tail end. So today we're just going to do 15 minutes on basically what is social selling, and then what are we doing for posting, right? So we're going to talk about how to post, what to post, where you want to post, when you want to post, and we'll briefly touch on my philosophy for the 5 stages of social selling, because that's going to be the theme for all of these lunch and learns. We're going to touch on one little nugget within one of these 5 stages each week, so that if you're attending on an ongoing basis, hopefully you're really mastering the process of social selling as we see it here at BN.Digital and BizNexus. So let me get right into it. Social selling, if there's anybody new in this group, anybody who's not a current client of BN.Digital, basically it's just the process of building, nurturing, converting a very highly targeted, valuable network of B2B prospects. Over time, you can start to see results very quickly, but really over time, this is where something like this, a strategy like this, I see it as an arrow in the quiver of your outreach. It does not replace outbound calls. It does not replace drop notes, but it's definitely something that you need to be doing if you're building a practice going forward. And especially since the advent of COVID, this is not going away. This is not a passing fad. This is something that is only becoming more valuable as people are spending more time online. And it's not just your primary prospects. I'm assuming that the majority of people on today's call are business brokers. So I'm just going to talk to the audience as if you're all business brokers. Let's say if you're a brick and mortar broker, your primary target is going to be a business owner in your area. Maybe you have a coast-to-coast niche like HVAC that isn't dependent on one geographic area, but that's going to be your primary target. And then alongside that, you'll always want to build up your referral pipelines. That can deliver results the first week, but over time, the financial advisors, the accountants, the lawyers, the divorce lawyers, making sure that you're getting those people into your network, but then nurturing them on an ongoing basis, staying in touch. That's what's going to matter with your referral network. The end goal of all of this is to get the phone call or the meeting. In today's world, I guess we're all doing Zoom meetings. I think we're we're all pretty saturated on that. It's ironic as I start up my weekly webinar, but right now the end goal should definitely be to get a phone call when they're ready, right? And the idea is to build up this network and deliver your value proposition on an ongoing basis and stay top of mind with a highly targeted network, right? So in particular, when we're talking about LinkedIn, think of LinkedIn as a billboard. It's not a social network. It's not like your Facebook group or your Instagram account if you have that. Your LinkedIn is a billboard, and you should be filling your LinkedIn network. I believe the limit right now is 30,000 contacts. Your LinkedIn network should be targeted, right? It should be those business owners, the financial advisors. It should be the accountants, the lawyers. And so the 5 stages of social selling here, this is the theme. I'm going to have this slide probably every week. First, you want to optimize your online profiles, your online brand for conversion, right? So if, for example, you are a business broker targeting an HVAC owner, your online brand, your online profiles should speak to the needs, the pain points of that HVAC business owner. Second stage is targeting, making sure that you just get laser targeted on the targeting for the business owners, financial advisors, accountants, lawyers, all the referral networks that matter, right? Clean data targeting that weeds out unqualified prospects. The better you can get with your targeting, the less time you're going to waste. Third phase is building that network, right? So whatever outreach campaigns you have, whatever processes you have for building that strategic network on an ongoing basis. Fourth stage is nurturing, and that's where we're jumping to today. That's actually the posting. And that's really staying top of mind with your valuable growing network as you do that going forward. Social posting, newsletters, webinars just like this, LinkedIn events. And today we'll focus on the social posting, but really just delivering your value proposition on an ongoing basis, establishing yourself as a qualified authority in the area of business acquisition and sale and business valuation, so that your network knows that you are a qualified authority in this space. And then the final phase is capture, right? So you want to set up your profiles with lead magnets. You want to have clear contact info. You want to be touching these prospects across multiple channels so that when they're primed, when they're ready, when they're aware of what you're doing, you're already top of mind. If they're ready to have that conversation about, what does it take to look at exit planning? What does it take to, what goes into my business valuation? You're going to be front and center. You're going to be first in line when they want to reach out. So I'll pop into a quick just overview of where we are right now in this post-COVID world. I do see a lot of people, the majority of people out there, unfortunately, still trying to focus on, conversion marketing. Really, sell your business with me. I'll get you the best value. It's right now is not a time for conversion marketing. Marketing works in really 3 phases. It's curiosity, and then enlightenment or education, and then finally conversion, right? Right now is a really good time for those first 2 categories, not necessarily the second. Whatever marketing you're doing, you should be hyper aware of this environment that we're in this COVID world. Your best bet is to add value. Your best bet is to step in as that trusted guide and be helpful, genuinely be helpful. So the goals of social posting. Again, you want to put yourself in your prospect's shoes as you're posting. Are your posts addressing the needs, the pain points, the interests of your prospect, of the business owner, of the financial advisors, of the accountants, etc.? Every post should position you as a qualified authority. It shouldn't necessarily be you screaming, beating your chest that you're the best business broker to sell a business. So you want to share information that could be technical. It could be an article about SDE and defining what SDE is, and something that you're commenting on, and it clearly establishes you as that qualified authority. You want to be seen as a resource within your network and become that industry thought leader. and you want to do this on an ongoing basis. It's a process, right? This does take time, but it does yield results. So I'm just going to hop right in it, and this is the whole point of this webinar. Like I said, that's going to be the longest intro that you ever hear from me. We're going to go right into a demo. So for everybody on this call, I assume you've already been into the new BizNexus homepage. I'm just going to do a post on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. This is just how you can get content, right? So when you log into your BizNexus account, your BizNexus.com, this is going to be, you know, the homepage that that you see, right? And we have these 5 categories. So we have the COVID-19 category. This is just business news as it relates to COVID. We try to focus on business that's relevant to business acquisition and sale, or news that's relevant to business acquisition and sale. News about buying a business, building towards an exit, business valuation, and selling a business. And so what I'm going to do right now is just in real time, I'm going to post on each one of these networks and show you the process for that. So if we're going to do, let's say, 17 business ideas as a second career. This is under the buy a business, right? So you can check out the article, see if you like it. If it looks good, right from the BizNexus homepage, you just click on the icon. So if I'm going to share this on LinkedIn, right, it's going to go straight to my account. I'm going to share in a post, or if I wanted to share this strategically with a high value contact, I could do that. But today I'm going to share in a post. And I'm going to put in great recommendations for taking the next step if you're looking to buy a business. Now, I'll want to add hashtags. So under the photo, you'll see hashtags. And what this does is if anybody's looking, if they're looking at news about exit strategies, intermediaries, exit planning, or if they're following those hashtags, this automatically includes your content in that hashtag, along with all the other articles, posts, videos that have been tagged. And it will amplify the visibility of your post, right? So I'm going to put all these in. And what I like to do, because I don't want my post to be that cluttered, is I will just put in a bunch of periods to bury that down at the bottom. Now, what you can also do, if you have a trusted network of resources, people who are expecting it, don't do this cold, it'll backfire. But I'm gonna just add some people who are on this call right now, right? And you type in @ right? And you click on the link of the person who you want to mention, and they're gonna get a notification, right? They're gonna get a notification that you tagged them, and then every time somebody interacts with your post, they're gonna get another notification. So this is a great trick if you have people who you trust to amplify your post right off the bat with LinkedIn. And again, you know, the reason you do that, so I'm gonna go ahead and post this. That's it, gone, post is live. The reason you want to amplify your post is because, you know, if you haven't been posting on LinkedIn and you post, you know, a piece of content, right? It doesn't mean that your entire network is going to see that post, right? You have to warm up the algorithm, so to speak, right? LinkedIn has to recognize you as relevant to your network. All of these social platforms spend their time, their money on trying to show you exactly what is relevant for you in your own newsfeed so that you'll engage and come back. So you need to get clicks, you need to get engagement, you need to get, you know, into a rhythm of posting for the algorithm to recognize you as relevant, to actually show your post to your network. And if you're pursuing a social selling strategy and you're building up this network full of these targeted prospects, you want to get that network penetration on your posts. You don't want to get 10% of your network seeing your posts. You want to get 80%, 90%, right? And so that happens over time. It happens with tricks just like this, making sure that you're getting the engagement on your posts. That's part of the process, and we'll be covering that every week. Now, Facebook, let's say, great options for second steps. But wait a minute, I don't want to post this to my personal account because no one in my personal account cares about buying a business. So what do you want to do? You can go back, right? And you can share this in a group. So if you have a group, you can do that. You can share it on a page you manage, and that's what I suggest for business brokers, is you have a page for your business and just share through that. Private message and event, extra. So I'm gonna do this as BizNexus. And again, you can hashtag this, right? So buy business, and let's say entrepreneurship through acquisition. And if I wanted to, I could at my network, but Facebook for me is a personal network. This is my wife. I'm not going to have my wife. It makes absolutely no sense. So I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going to post to Facebook. Bam. And that post is gone. Twitter, super easy. There's the link. Throw in the hashtags, whatever you'd like, and tweet it, and it's gone. And I could go in and show you what these posts look like, but we have limited time. Right there. And so I suggest every day with LinkedIn, at least 2-3 times a week, pop in. We're updating this. These articles are handpicked every day, relevant to the world of business acquisition and sale. And that is something that you should be doing on an ongoing basis if you are following a focused social selling strategy. Now, if you want to schedule your posts and you don't want to hop in and just do it in real time, be careful with that in this environment because the news is changing so quickly. I do recommend that you take the time to just look at what's relevant today before you post it. And so let's take a look at some free tools if you are going to automate your posting. Buffer is great. They have a free subscription, and you can link up They do have a free subscription in here, unless they've just changed this, which is entirely possible, as everybody has been social posting and this engagement has increased online. I think a lot of these companies are changing their billing models, but let's assume they still have this free subscription. If not, maybe you pay $15 a month. You can schedule your posts, schedule the time of day, automate it. Again, be careful in this environment because you don't want to schedule something to post today for next week and have that be relevant or fall on deaf ears, or have it come off as insensitive because something has happened. In this type of environment, everything is changing daily. So be careful. Buffer, Hootsuite is another one. Buffer is much more user-friendly in my opinion. So if you haven't done this before, I personally would go with Buffer before Hootsuite. But again, this is free, easy, hop into BizNexus and you're good to go on the posting. So like versus comment versus share. Again, we're starting at square one here, but I think we do have some people on this webinar who have asked about this, so we're addressing it. So, why, how, what's the difference? So LinkedIn's algorithm, according to a lot of the LinkedIn experts out there, people seem to think that LinkedIn has recently changed their algorithm to favor likes and comments over shares. And that's because they want people who engage, right? So you can like a post. You should do this on an ongoing basis with your network. You can comment on a post. And when you comment, you want to make it relevant to the post. Ideally, you're adding value, you're asking a question. If you at the author, you're going to get more visibility, you're going to get more network penetration on that. And if it's relevant to other people in your network, you can also at other people the way I showed you in the social post. You can at people in a comment and get them to contribute to the discussion. If that happens, you're going to push to the top of your newsfeed. Your network is going to see it. It's a great strategy for engagement. If you're sharing an article, you're sharing a comment, this is a form of paying it forward. The general strategy is be a giver first, right? Add value on LinkedIn. It's a great channel for value bombing, not necessarily closing or conversion. But again, if you're sharing, you can do that with a group of trusted colleagues, or we like to call it your tribe. People on this webinar can all be part of your tribe. We do that within BN.Digital. And this can also be a really great strategy if you have a high value prospect who you know that you're going to reach out to. If you can engage with them on an ongoing basis in a tasteful way, maybe share something, share an article that they've posted, or share a post, and then you make the call the following week, they're going to know that you shared their post because they get that notification in LinkedIn. So that's one strategy there. Groups, online pools, and I'm going to try to wrap this up so we can get a decent Q&A, even though we don't have too many people. Groups and online pools, this is something that a lot of people overlook. They focus on building up a network, but then they're really not nurturing that network, and they're not doing what it takes to get recognized by the LinkedIn algorithm to be relevant, to actually get your content pushed out there and visible to your network. So going back to BizNexus, when you log in, you'll see the articles, but then you can also click on business broker friendly online groups. And these are all online groups across LinkedIn, Facebook, Quora, that are relevant to business acquisition and sale, right? So if you go into any of these, let's say, I don't know, Family Office Club. This is on LinkedIn, right? Focusing on LinkedIn for this call. This has 127,000 members, right? And you can see all the members, you can search through them. Let's say I want to get involved. I want to ramp up my network full of wealth managers, right? Well, here you go. These are all wealth managers in the group. When you message them, you can reference the group. You have a reason to reach out, even if you don't have a mutual contact in common. This is a great way to stay engaged with the industry, to get in front of referral sources in particular. But then if you're commenting in these groups, if you're sharing, if you're liking, every time you're doing that, your comment is going to be pushed to the top of the feed of the person whose content you're commenting on, and all of their contacts are going to see your profile. They're going to see your comment as well, right? So that can snowball if you're doing this on an ongoing basis. And it's a great strategy, and something you should absolutely be doing if you're pursuing a focused social selling program. So I think that's about it. We'll hop into the Q&A if anybody has any. So now would be the time. Again, we're keeping this to half an hour. If anybody has any questions, we'll answer those now. And if not, I'm going to close it, guys. So right now, again, keeping in mind, we've got all right, Hal's in here. Hal, so for the Q&A, down on the bottom of your screen, you can see Q&A, and you can, you should be able to type Q&A, or we can just, Hal, I think you can talk now, Hal, if you're.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Sure. I'm good. How are you?
Good. The various articles on your homepage that we're able to post to these various social sites are the same for everyone, or are they kind of user tailored? Yeah,
great question. So with the articles, we play in the world of business acquisition and sale. So we're putting this up there, and this is showing on everybody's homepage, right? So any broker who's logging in will see the same content. This is not personalized to you. But what we're doing is we're looking for news relevant to COVID-19 as it relates to business acquisition and sale every day, buying business, build for an exit, business valuation, selling business. So the idea is for business brokers and for really any professional in the world of business acquisition and sale or those related industries. You can hop in, you can quickly see the articles that matter, something that's gonna be relevant to your network, and share it. So not personalized to you, you know, in the way that LinkedIn and Facebook have these massive budgets to try to show you exactly what's relevant to you within their own network. We're taking what's relevant from across the internet in these specific silos of, you know, buying a business, selling a business, business valuation, and we're making that available for you to share.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
One last question. I didn't realize you could tag someone in a comment. So you just put the ampersand and then the name in the comment section and it'll tag them?
Yep, and I think, you know, it's again that trick with putting in you know, periods across multiple lines and then putting your tags and your ats at the bottom when the post shows. If I actually, I'll just hop into LinkedIn right now and I'll look at, see, so when this shows up, LinkedIn will cut off this post right here. So we'll show the top line and it will show the picture. And when you click on the picture, it clicks through. And actually, let me just digress for 1 second here. You want to make sure you have the appropriate metadata whenever you're posting anything on any platform, right? And what that means is when I click on this, going straight to the article, right? So for BizNexus, for example, if you're a broker, you'll see that, you know, that I'm in my own personal profile on BizNexus. I'm not a broker, I don't have listings for sale, but I do have a new franchise opportunity that is here, right? And as I thought I did, maybe I don't. Let's see. Right here, see? So this is actually, for all intents and purposes, it's a business on BizNexus. It's not. This is just a franchise opportunity. We do that. We don't do existing businesses. But it links to a BizNexus listing. If you're logged into BizNexus, you're going to see your own listings laced in here with the articles. So you can share your listings. And when you share your listing, or if you share an article, you want the appropriate metadata to get shown. I see a lot of people sharing pictures with business for sale, and you know, you want to make sure that. So, let's see. Bill, I hate to call you out, but I'm doing it because I just noticed this today, right before the webinar. I think you put a picture, and I see this all the time. If you click on a picture, it doesn't click through, the user gets confused. So the best thing that you can do, there's a tool called LinkedIn Post Inspector, right? And when you go to Post Inspector, if you have any question about a link, if you're trying to share a listing, if you're trying to share, you know, anything, you go to LinkedIn Post Inspector, you put that in there, press inspect, and it's going to show you the metadata. Right, so here, this is what it's going to look like. I like that. I see the picture, I see the title, right? I see a description. Very important if you're sharing something that the metadata is being fetched. Otherwise, it's gonna look like garbage. So, you know, a lot of people who have content up on, if you have content on your own LinkedIn profile, go to LinkedIn Post Inspector, put it in there, and see how it looks. I see a lot of people putting PDFs up on their, you know, about section or their featured section. We'll cover this in future calls, but yeah, you just want to make sure you have that straight. So that's that. That's my digression. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to close it out on that because we do want to keep this at half an hour. We want this to be valuable. I hope this was. We'll do this again next week. Please answer the survey. It's going to be a 1-question survey. Just let us know how we can make it more valuable. Next week, my long-winded introduction will not exist. It will be right into it. We're going to go into a nugget that's valuable, and we'll have a solid 15 minutes for the Q&A. So I will follow up with these other questions separately. but I'm going to close it out because we want to keep these right at half an hour. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you next week.